Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to the Heat Army podcast. We've got so much to talk about tonight. Of course, there's the what happened to Greg, of course, and we want to send all our well wishes to him. And you can do that on the show as well. I'm sure you've all done it on social media. But of course, that will be a big talking point. Of course, after that, Gateshead did get one to win at Woking 2-0. And then on Tuesday night, we did play Halifax and had a 1-1 draw down there. So better than a defeat. Still haven't got that win over them. 20 odd years, the wait continues. So we've got lots to talk about. Before we go any further, big thank you to our sponsors, Northern Print Solutions, and I'm still getting it wrong each side. There we go, and our partners at Patrick, and of course hit that subscribe button, and we can all get in. The messages are flying in. We'll get into them very soon. I'm guessing that the chat will be very, very busy today. But I'll just bring in Mickey and Steely. How are you doing, boys?
Good evening.
Hey, all good. I mean, I'm not blue. I mean, I was blue on last Saturday, but hey, I'm not blue, which is good news. Davey,
all right.
How are you?
So we'll get to the elephant in the room. Not that anyone knows about the elephant just yet.
Does he need to be talking about us like that?
Yes, I know. So obviously on last week's show, Steely made the bold comment: if we won the next two games, he would paint himself blue like a Smurf. And you actually bought the paint, didn't you?
I did. I bought the paint the day. Yeah.
And I said, if Mark Beck scores the winner, I will dye my hair blue. Now, I thought, I'll hold off because, like the modern metrosexual man I am, I've been dyeing my hair blonde of late. And I thought, well, I'll wait till that if that happens or not. And obviously it didn't. So I thought, right, today's the day, Thursday, new show, new hair. So bleached it to get the peroxide, for the base, and then I put the metallic grey on like I did the first time to go for that like steely look, that distinguished grey. And then unfortunately I've had an absolute balls up, and this is genuine. This is not for the show. My wife really wants us to shave my hair off, isn't that right? Yeah. See, and then that is real. I did not do that on purpose. This is it. There you go. It's a right mess. My wife, it is a blue rinse. So Mark Beck,
Molly Stoke, I'm off. Are you being served?
I mean, my wife's looking to see so absolute catastrophe. And then what made it worse is that I had to go for a family dinner with my in-laws in the local pub. And oh man, I was like this, and my wife said, "Keep your hat on." So yeah, I did end up dyeing my hair blue, but Mark Beck didn't score. So there we go. But right,
how can we take you seriously for the rest of the night, Davey?
I kind of take myself seriously. What? Oh, she wants to see what the right. Let's get through some of the messages before we bring our guest in. You can all have a chuckle and get your comments out the way about my hair. Darcy's put even and all. We've got Steve Farnfield, the Woking player. We'll get into that. And they say we've got lots of messages coming in. We'll get them through. Evening, lads. We've got Liv Walden in the vision. We've got Sean Parry. They're all coming in. I'll get them up on the screen. And obviously, we've got Get Well Soon to Greg, says Ben Allison. And we will go further on. And Trina's put what's under the cap. Well, now we know. What was under the cap was a bloody idiot. Someone's put, it's Phyllis from Corrie. So the thing is, though, it doesn't look too bad here, but when you go outside, it is absolutely it's not blue, it's purple, and it goes like lavender, bright lavender in the sun. So right, that's that out the way. We'll get on to Greg later on, and obviously the two games, but we have a game on Saturday. And we're lucky enough to be joined by Ben from the Glover's Cast, and here he is there. Hello, Ben. How are you doing?
Hello, gents. How are we? I love the hair. I'm just going to come out and say it. It's giving.
He loves the hair.
I love it. It's giving mid-90s Mark Bircham vibes, and I'm here for it.
Oh, that's a good one. Compared to another footballer.
More like bird's nest.
Well, everyone, my wife wants us to shave it off after the show. So I put it out to the listeners. Should I keep it or shave it? So,
please.
Yeah, well, I'm aboard.
Yeah, that's really too. Right. So the hair's out the way. I know it's horrific, and
I think you should shave it off and dye your scalp blue.
The thing. Sorry, just to digress. We've always got our guest here. When I had the hair dye on, it wasn't blue. it wasn't blue. It was like just white cream, and underneath it just turned to this. So there we go. Anyway, Ben, have you ever had a disaster like this?
Not like that. No, I've had some, but no.
Well said, Ben.
There's no way of sugarcoating that. I wanted to be polite. I wanted to make some sort of lovely comment there. I can't.
Yes.
I had the Mark Bircham line. I didn't have anything else to go with it, to be honest with
you.
You,
you can't top the Mark Bircham line, but it's a pleasure to have you back. Of course, I think we spoke last season before the FA Cup game. You came out the better on that one, of course, and had a decent run. But as I say, back in the National League, it's nice to have you back because obviously we've made friends with you through podcasting and stuff like that. So it's lovely to have you back. And how was last season to start off with? Because obviously win the league's always nice, but you got to go to some of the places that you probably hadn't even heard of in quite a while.
Yeah, it was a strange season because you are right. To win games of football is always a pleasure, regardless of the level. To win a league, there are not many teams that win leagues each and every year. We were one of the lucky 7 or 8 that actually got to do that last year. But it was also that little bit of a needs must. We had to go and do what we had to go and do. You had to go to some places that you didn't necessarily want to have to go to, get jobs done, get out and start, considering it being the one step back towards hopefully 1, maybe 2 steps forward at some point in the near future.
Yeah.
The football club was in a shambolic place overall. It was a case of dealing with all of that. And then on the pitch, just needs must. It was great to be part of. I loved it. We won the league against a team a couple of 100 miles southern of us in the National League North by playing at Gloucester Stadium.
Yeah.
Which, the fact that that's the North is ridiculous. But we won the National League South in the National League North, and I will be absolutely delighted if we never have to do it again.
Yeah. I mean, I can remember we had a conversation just before or just after the game, the infamous 4-0. Say we'll not mention after the game. Of course, there was a few tears.
But I was wondering how long that was going to take. I didn't have who had 8 minutes past 8 on the on the sweepstake. But yes, I cried. Okay, I cried.
No, look, I cry all the time. It's all right. I was crying this afternoon, for God's sake.
We were laughing.
Yeah, my wife's still crying now. Yeah. But no, I think I said to you a line and it stuck with us. I said, hopefully this is going to be a reset for you. And he said, but the last 3 were meant to be a reset. Yeah. And it was like, that's quite horrific, really. So it was, but you're back. You've got the club running on even keel. You've got good attendances, and it must be nice just to get them wins out the way when you get back to say, right, we're competitive at this level.
Yeah, absolutely. That night was, for me, and I think for a lot of people, the point at which we realised in front of our faces that this was a broken group. The team weren't a team. It was a bunch of individuals. And we knew, I think, if anyone had any doubts that the off-field situation was a shambles, that night kind of dealt with it. For me, that was our lowest point because it just felt so hopeless at that point. And it was something we had to do to be back at this level now, and then to get the first win, the first clean sheet, the first goal, to start ticking these bits and pieces off. We've done it away now. We've done it at home. Couple of nice attendances to go alongside. It just feels like we're back at a level that we can now compete at. Whether that ends up in anything spectacular this season, I don't know. I'm sure you guys have spoken at length about how there's no superstar team this season. There's no Wrexham, Stockport, Chesterfield, Notts County. What there is that upper echelon, Forest Green, Barnet, Southend, maybe Sutton. But then beyond that, there's upwards of a dozen teams who know one good run, little bit of luck here and there, a worldy signing that you weren't quite expecting, injuries and suspensions going your way. There's no qualms that those 12 teams can also make the playoffs. Yeah. I think we're one of those teams. I think Gateshead are one of those teams, definitely. The difference between 6th and 16th this season, I don't think is going to be all that much, if I'm being completely honest with you. So for us, I'm just looking for progression at the moment. We're back where we need to be at the moment, and we're happy to say that our target is higher, but let's just make the steps forward in the right direction.
Definitely.
Well said. Well said, Ben.
I was going to ask Ben, Mark Cooper, do you think he was lucky not to get the sack When you went down?
No. He so he disagreed with the stewardship of the team that are now behind York City. And had they eventually taken over, he'd have gone without a second's hesitation. Walked as much as pushed.
Yeah.
But when the current ownership came in, he said there's no point asking a carpenter to do a job without giving them a saw and some nails and a hammer. And that's what Mark Cooper had been asked to do. He said, I'm willing to give Mark Cooper the resources to get back into this division. And then and only then can we judge him. That's exactly exactly what happened. He did. He gave us the resources, gave Mark Cooper the resources, said, get on with the football stuff. We won the league by 11 points. He's been rewarded by a 3-year contract now. And I actually think that is his 3-year challenge of get us back in the EFL at some point in the next 3 years. I think it was a brave decision for him to stay. It would have been so easy for him to walk. It was a brave decision to keep him on, but it's one that's completely and utterly justified on all sides.
Obviously the proof's in the pudding now as well, and hindsight's a wonderful thing. But just to go back on what you're saying there before, of course, there's going to be not much between 6th and 16th. I don't think there's going to be one that'll run away with the league this year. I'd be very shocked if there is someone that goes early and stays there. I think we might see someone in maybe February, March pull away, but I think it's going to be one of these leagues where ultimately anyone could beat anyone on the day. We know that. It always has been that. But as you say, the big boys, the big teams aren't there with the massive resources. And, the likes of Southend possibly could be that next year, but they're having to play catch up because of their financial situation and things like that. Oldham, still yet to be seen if their transfers will work. Barnet, I mean, was it 14, 15 transfers in the summer? That's a lot to get working straight away. So
28 as well.
Yeah.
How are you going to keep all of them happy?
Ben, how was your recruitment policy over the summer? How did it go for Yeovil?
It was really nice to see vast majority of our players that did the job for us last season have been rewarded with either place this year, on a couple of them extended contracts. We've brought in quality in areas and depth in areas that we were lacking in last year. Defensively, we got away with the fact that we had 5 players. We had a very good goalkeeper and 4 very good defenders. They never got injured. They never got suspended. It was fine. But we knew we had to bring in some depth there. We've done that a little bit on all sides. We've added Brett McGavin from Torquay and Aaron Jarvis from Torquay, who were their standout players in a relegation season, but also then last season, which was a bit of a mess and a bit of a chaotic season for them. Added those in. They've both been fantastic acquisitions thus far. Jarvis hasn't scored yet, but I think he's done a lot of ugly work besides. But Brett McGavin has really shone. The star signing, on the face of it, is one that appeared last week. Josh Sims came out of the Scottish Premiership where he was at Ross County. He's a Yeovil-born lad. I wonder if he was waiting for something at a slightly higher level, why he didn't sign for anybody before. The offer was there. He's come down for 2 years. He's played 45 minutes, and honestly, he looks like he's 3 levels above us.
That's nice when you get a local lad, isn't it, coming back? St. Geordie sent a message. How do you play away from home? Are you defensively? Are you on the attack? Is it? Are we going to? I'm guessing we're going to see a different Yeovil side to the last side that we've seen at the International Stadium.
I imagine, yes.
Not.
I think that this away game might be slightly different to the Braintree away game, where we played lovely football, we passed them off the pitch and scored 2 goals, and it was fine, it was lovely, It was easy. I don't think we're going to see that from Yeovil. There's been a really interesting couple of words, both after the Tuesday game and then again today, from Mark Cooper. He's called Gateshead the best footballing team in the league. I think he's alluding to the fact that I don't think Yeovil are going to go toe-to-toe with Gateshead and play football, because I think he thinks we'll get stung. So I do wonder if we will set up a little bit more rigidly for at least the first half. And try and frustrate and annoy. And then we know there's quality in there. We know there's attacking power in there. And maybe bring somebody with a little bit of explosiveness off the bench. Harvey Greenslade, who scored the winner on Tuesday night, springs to mind. I think we'll start to frustrate, if I'm being completely honest with you, knowing that we can turn it on if we need to. It's a long trip. It's a long journey. We've got Monday to think about as well. There's an injury concern to the left back, Alex Whittle, who was taken off at half time, and his replacement isn't a natural bomb down the left hand side left back. So tactically, I think that probably suits itself to just being a little bit more rigid early doors if it goes that way.
Yeah.
I think we've got the ability to play open football. We showed that on Tuesday night at home. This one just has a feeling of it might just be a bit different.
Yeah. I mean, we've got obviously our own injury concerns that have happened. There was notably one we'll be talking about later on.
Yeah.
But there's been a few new additions that have come in. So for us, it's a case of how are these new lads going to settle in? If they are thrown in at the deep end, and a couple of players have got niggling injuries. So, but that's why we've got a bigger squad this year, and I'm sure yourselves have got a bigger squad because we're seeing 5 substitutes this year.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that as a factor against Hartlepool? They made 5 very slow, very deliberate substitutions and just killed the game dead at the end. And I think we'll see a lot of that where a team goes a goal up with an hour, 75 minutes gone, and they will just shut down by making slow, laborious substitutions, sticking all their defenders on.
I think the teams that know they're not going to be physically up to it will do that. I haven't seen that yet for us, but we've seen substitutions change games. Like the way that obviously to be able to bring on more than one, another 2 players, and it can dictate the change how you attack the game, whereby the change of everything. So and obviously how you defend. But yeah, it's a different dynamic. It's something to get used to for non-league fans. But obviously in the Football League, they've had it for a couple of seasons. But yeah, the thing I've noticed though, like a lot of a few benches around don't have the full quota of the 7. Of course, it's still a big financial burden for clubs to have to fill that. It'd be nice to have it at your disposal, of course, but it'd be pointless filling the bench full of kids if they're just not up to it.
No, exactly. And of course, you've obviously got a serious injury, and I think we at Yeovil appreciate what you guys are feeling right now. We had Alex Fisher go down with a very serious injury a couple of years ago. He came back and scored the winning goal away at Truro at Gloucester to get us promoted. It's a lovely comeback story, and it's something that I saw it and thought, I hope that over time Greg Ollie comes back and can do something like that as well. But to have the ability to have a couple of extra bodies in the building, you might be in a better position. The fact that you can call upon Whelan and Butterfield and all the rest of it probably means you can mitigate serious injuries a little bit easier this year.
Yeah, after that, also we've brought in a player that we're going to be talking about later on as well in midfield. So it's just the manner in which it's all happened, which is the kick in the teeth, and of course, because Greg's a lovely lad as well. But Ben, absolute pleasure to have you on again. Lovely to see you. Hopefully, get to see you again if we're fortunate enough to get to the Football Content Awards. And I believe you're coming up on Saturday as well, aren't you? You're doing the look at his point that he's silver. Is that your silver or your winners?
Silver one.
Oh, the
silver one.
Yeah, it's all right. I didn't want a piece of A4 paper either.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. You know as well as I do that either one of us could have ended up with any one of those 3 awards. The fact that it says Glover's Cast and not Heed Army makes no difference. You know that as well as I do.
Hopefully we'll see if we're fortunate enough to be.
Well, we're both better than the Bees podcast anyway.
Exactly.
I don't want to seem bitter, but
I absolutely am.
Yeah. I mean, if we're fortunate enough to be there, we'll hopefully have a pint together. If it's somewhere reachable, I've got a feeling it's going to be in the far end of nowhere this time. But on that note, have a safe trip up and hopefully see you on Saturday at the commentary desk. And good luck the rest of the season. Just not on Saturday.
Well, I say this every time we have a guest on. I genuinely hope you have a lovely season as a whole, but just a couple of times if you could be rubbish, that would be great.
We normally have ours against Braintree though.
Yeah.
Or Halifax.
It's all right. I'll bring plenty tissues. On that note,
safe journey, Ben.
He could have turned around and said, "I'll bring the hair dye."
Nice to see you.
I wish you all the best and safe journey up, mate.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We have got a coach. We have got a couple of people flying up. There's going to be an away end in numbers.
Oh well, their arms will be killing.
Yeah. Spot on. Thank you, Ben.
Cheers, Ben. Safe journey.
There we go, Ben. Lovely lad. If you have a chance to listen to their podcast, it comes out on Saturday morning, and I was fortunate enough to be the guest on there for when they're talking about the weekend. But no, he's an absolute star. And as I say, I know we joked on about the tears, but you know, we've all, I mean, well, I say I cry at football matches. You know, that lad was really going through it there. It was a horrible time at Yeovil, but lovely to see them back where they belong, really. And if we're honest, they belong higher for the size of the football club. But
I've always been a good club, to be fair. Me and Davey knew a few Yeovil fans, didn't we, mate?
Yeah, we did over the years. Absolutely great. I've been down a few times as well. So yeah, good place. David, I'm just out of curiosity, when you did the interview, I mean, you can talk a bit. Did it go on a little bit?
Oh yeah, it went on. There was a lot to cover. They obviously want to know about the promotion and things like that, and obviously the injury to Greg. So and also as you know, the lovely lads on the Glovers cast, and easy to talk to them. And as I say, have a little listen in if you want to have a little listen to that.
Saturday morning, you said that comes out, yeah.
Yeah, Saturday morning, and obviously you've got there. Oh, sorry, 1 second, that's the wrong one. It's got That's Us Screwed this weekend, because every time we have an opposing fan on, we get beat. Not this time. And someone's put, why is it a 12:30? Why is it a 12:30 kickoff? I think so they can get back at a
so they can get back, because they've got to play on Monday as well.
Yeah, so
it makes sense. Like,
it does make sense. Right, we'll play a little message from our partners, and when we come back, we'll get on to obviously what happened on Saturday.
We would like to take this moment to thank our podcast partners at Patrick Sportswear for the continued support of the show.
All right, there we are. Right, of course, Saturday was another horrible afternoon on the injury front for Gateshead. I'll freely admit I didn't care about the result. I know we're joking on about tears. I had tears listening to it. I'd just like to say a big well done to the commentator for BBC Radio Surrey. I thought he handled it very, very well. He had to fill an hour of dead air with stuff to talk about. He did it in a respectful manner. So a big I didn't get his name, but hats off to him. Of course, our thoughts and love and everything goes out to Greg, and of course still to Joe, who's out injured as well. Still, it's been a horrible week that overshadowed Gateshead being top of the league for 2 Saturdays in a row, but that meant nothing. It felt like nothing. And we're not out of a respect for Greg and his teammates, because they were very distressed. I'm sure you've seen that. You have seen the highlights, and coaching staff. I don't think it's fair or right to even put anything up from that game. And we just hope that everyone that was involved, and a big shout out to all of the lads that were rallying round, because heads could have been lost. Some, our players could have retaliated and of what they had seen happen to their captain, their friend on the pitch. But before we go any further forward, Charlotte Hodgson has made a GoFundMe for Greg to help. He's got a long road ahead. It does look like it's going to be the season now. It's only been up 2 hours, I think it has, and they've got 365 in donations already. There you go. Former Gateshead player Ed Francis has already donated £100. And if you could help out, if you feel like you can afford to do it, please do so, or at least send a message for Greg, and we'll put it up on the screen, because he's got a long road of recovery ahead of him. And these players aren't on the big money what Premier League players are on. They can't retire at the end of their career in the National League. It's a short career, and hopefully that can go to helping Greg get some of the best treatment and make his life comfortable in the meantime, because I've had many big operations on my feet where I couldn't walk for best part of a year. It's not nice, and I just wish Greg all the best, and I'm sure you lads have got things you'd like to say as well. So I'll do that while I'm looking for messages to put up on the screen.
Yeah. First of all, I'll say get well soon, and I hope it's a speedy recovery, Greg. My stepdad had a similar injury way back in 1978, obviously, but he'd done something very similar, and he got back to playing football again. Obviously, it wasn't as high a standard as what Greg was, but he ended up playing football again. And to Greg, all his family, and John, the rest of them, it must have been well, I know it was stressful for them to drive down to London, and my love to them as well.
Yeah.
Just get well soon, Greg. You're a great lad. You're a bloody good footballer. You'll come back stronger, mate.
Absolutely. I think you've said everything that you can probably say, lads. Got also, well, I mean, the club did, but, you know, thanking both the Gateshead and the walking background staff, you know, the physios, the doctors, all that who dealt with it. Also, I you know, I looked at the incident. It's, you know, obviously you don't want to, but you do see it, of course, on clips. And big shout out to Robbie Tinkler. So Robbie ran straight across to him. And from a professional point of view, if you look what he did, he was making sure Greg wasn't looking down, because Greg would obviously naturally you go to shock at such a big incident, like a big issue like that. And he grabs his head, he actually covers his eyes partially, and then he grabs his head, just making sure he's just looking straight at Robbie and not looking down. So Robbie Tinkler deserves a gold medal.
I know,
you know, go and do it.
In club interviews, not even to do with this situation, the coaching staff and management always talk about the players being beautiful human beings, and I think we witnessed that on Saturday.
Yeah, totally agree.
But we already knew that, you know. But it's trying to find the right words to, you know, without being patronizing or, you know, condescending. But these boys are absolutely down to earth, humble boys, and you know, Robbie is such a lovely lad. He looks hard as nails on a football pitch. Same with Kenton Richardson. You've seen, you know, the shock and stuff on players when they've seen it. And Kenton Richardson, you could see, was in very emotionally distressed, and then turned around and put his game face on, went to defend his team's honour and give it, you know, go over. Well, not just that. I'm talking about before we got back on the pitch. You know, and these boys are just absolutely fantastic, and I just want to say to every one of them that we're so proud he is, regardless of what any result is. Yous are always amazing with kids at the games, fans afterwards. You're talking to everybody. Steely, Davey, I'm sure everyone watching that have been watching Gateshead for many years. We've had some amazing players at Gateshead over the years. We haven't had human beings like this, and I'm not saying that because of this incident. We've said it in previous weeks and previous episodes.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
That, you know, this is a special group of players. They're doing special things, and, you know, I just hope that, you know, the fans stick with them right throughout this season. I'm sure that we will. But, you know, that the actions of our players on Saturday, to be able to go on and carry on playing as well and go on and win the game, which obviously felt needless to all of us. Yeah, it's just hats off to them all. You know, and I'm hopefully Greg is back up in the northeast, and you know, in and amongst the boys to see them regularly, and that'll hopefully G the boys up as well. Because look, Greg's as they've all said, he's a captain, he's a friend, he's a leader. He leads by example, and we just hope that he's back in there. And because I'll say this, and I said it to Mickey in private, and I think Steely as well. I think we had a little bit, not a hangover on Tuesday, but it was an emotionally draining weekend, and you know, I think the game kind of felt that way, didn't it? But yeah, that's it. But we've got lots of messages here. I'm putting them up on the screen. Credit all the medical staff at the local hospital as well. Yes, we've got YouTube user. Speedy recovery to both Joe and Greg. Those lads played with absolute warriors the way they did. And obviously we've got here wishing Greg a speedy recovery. Glad to hear the surgery went well for him. Fair play to both sets of players for resuming the game too. Sometimes there's more important things in the game of football, and I think that's how it felt. And people are reiterating what was said. Trina, thinking about Greg and his family, speedy recovery. Of course, you know, I
was sitting with Trina, just to cut across you. I was sitting across with in the house with Trina, obviously, and Trina just started crying.
Yeah.
You know, she says, "I just want the game to end." She said, "Neither were give a monkeys. I felt sick as a dog. I used to felt sick as a dog.
Oh, I was livid.
Most of it, and you know, it's it's so heartbreaking for that lad.
Oh,
You know,
Second game in, and
it just
Second
shows you
game.
how it just shows you how life can flip on a
vulnerable
knife.
as all, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking, just a couple of months ago, he's picking up the trophy at Wembley, and we've said this before, arguably Gateshead's greatest ever captain, a league win, and a trophy at Wembley, twice at Wembley, and for this to happen, because he just scored a hat-trick the week before, and the
7 days earlier, he scored a hat-trick.
And so yeah, it's just awful. But we have got the GoFundMe linked in the YouTube video below. It is there now. If you look down in the information of the video, it's already there. So if you do feel like you can, please do that. And we've got Liv Bollins puts in on it sports this special club. I guess
It is.
And hello, gents. Currently watching from Tenerife. Hopefully you're well. Speedy recovery and so gutted for him. A hero on and off the pitch. 2 great results against bogey sides. # do it for Greg. And that's what we'll call this episode. Do it for Greg. And obviously Joe as well. Joe's had his scans and we're still waiting to find out what the news is on his recovery time period. But
he was at Halifax on Tuesday night, I know.
Was he? Oh, well, yeah. Nice to see that he's there supporting the lads. Let's try and find some positivity. There'll be some noise when Greg leads the lads out at the Gates International Stadium again. Can't wait. It will be nice when that happens, of course. And but I mean, we've covered it. We'll put the GoFundMe back up. But I was able to send him much love to Greg, because even if you're a new fan, obviously Greg's Gateshead's longest serving player, of course, captain. When we've had him on the podcast in the past, I think it was only 2 years ago when he signed a new contract, I think it was, he came on the show in his shirt that he made his debut in. He loves it. He loves Gateshead. He loves being about it. And, he's give us a lot, and let's get behind him. I'm sure when he's fitting up to it, mentally, hopefully we'll get him on the show. He can come on regularly if he wants to talk football with us. He can do anything. He's a god around these parts. So there's an open invite to Greg, because I want to keep him involved as much as possible.
I was just thinking, like, I can't remember, and like you two been supporting them a very long time, sort of an injury to a player affecting the club so much, not just the club but the fans.
Yeah.
There's been some, we've had, just like any football club, we've had some nasty ones over the years, broken legs and all, but nothing affecting it like this. Like, as you said, like, the result didn't, I mean,
I think it was
True,
yeah. I mean, it's as I say, we all love Greg. I mean, the comments, and you see what the outpour on social media.
Unbelievable.
Greg, he's a special person. We all know that. Yeah. I've had, like, as I say, some of my most favorite moments from doing the commentary is with Greg after a game, because he's seen us crying and at Wembley. There's certain little things that just a little interaction, and it's magical to me. And also as well, send out some love to his mum and dad as well, because we know they're listening, and they had to travel down, and so big up to John and his lovely wife. His name escapes me at the moment, so I apologize about that, Anne. So say we hope you're well as well. Right, so we've covered that, and as I say, no doubt, hopefully we can get him on in the coming weeks on the podcast. Well, maybe a couple of months, give him a chance to.
Never want to see it again. Please.
See it again, yeah. And, out of respect, that's why we didn't show anything. I don't think it would be right. Not at all.
I don't particularly want to see it myself. So
on to some positive things. Gateshead have been in the transfer market. One player that's already joined, he's already played. Made 2 appearances. Is Jean Bellahoun, who came through the ranks at Sheffield United, and I think he was at Tranmere last season. And, he's slotted into defence. Mickey, you've seen him play live. I watched it on Tuesday night. I'd say it looks like a very capable player, and once he settles in, I think we've added well.
I think he's a really good player, and I've actually had the chance to speak to him. He's a really nice guy as well. When he gets up to speed, Same with other signings. They've got to get this the process mapped out in the brains and things like that. He looks very capable. I really like them. He's big, he's strong, and let's put it this way: I'll not be criticising him because he is some bloody size.
Yeah, he's a big lad, but as I say, looks like he's a gentle giant amongst the fans. Looks a canny player, says Trina as well. There is another player that pressed the wrong button. There is another player that has joined as well, and he joined before the. Was this today or yesterday? My memory is terrible.
He was on the bench for Halifax.
On the bench, yes, he was. It was Charlie Clockett, and he. Sorry.
Colkett.
I said Clockett, sorry. Colkett. Yeah, so obviously reading through his Wikipedia, of course, played a couple of seasons out in Sweden. He's obviously been in the ranks at Chelsea. He's played in Holland. He's played all over the Football League. Comes with a good pedigree, and hopefully it can slot into our midfield and work well with the other lads that's there, because obviously Butterfield come in, hit the ground running. Whelan and Booty know what to do, and if this young man can come in and make an impact, it'll certainly help with obviously the loss of Greg from the side.
Davey, it'll certainly make an impact on your commentary.
Oh yeah, well I can see it now. Colkett, it's all right. I've got it there now. It's memorized.
I've heard his interview, and it's a long way from home, and he's in the windy north. Now, Mr. Colkett, if you're listening, you do not cross the equator when you come to Tyneside. So get used to it, son.
But he's played in Sweden, so surely that was colder up there.
I don't know.
Well, there might be some Heed Army hats and scarves coming for the winter Heed Army podcast one. So if you need one,
he might be wearing gloves during the winter months.
I need one of them hats now. So
you need to shave.
Well, I tell you what, if you put them old Heed Army hats on you had on, the woolly ones wouldn't notice if it was your hair or not.
Yeah.
Look, at least you've got bloody hair.
I won't in about an hour when it's shaved off. Been impressed with Butterfield, slotted in straight in. He has.
By the way, when's the game going to be when Butterfield actually hits the back of a net from 25 yards? He's tried most games, all 3 games.
Like from a distance, didn't he?
He likes to crack. It's going to hit the net one of these days.
Bellahoon looked solid against Woking and impressed more at Halifax for Honstrop. Of course, we haven't mentioned the Honstrop. We mentioned that he had signed, but he came in the Halifax game and looked good down that left-hand side.
We're good, aren't we? We're bloody good.
And I just come in there. Yeah. Do you think when he come on, I think we settled down.
Yeah.
Play as soon as he come on the park and played in that position. I'm not having to go with the lads that went off.
Yeah, no.
I thought we just stabilised as soon as he come on, and we start the football again.
Yeah,
I was really impressed with Brandon when he come on Tuesday night.
Yeah, right. I'm excited to see what Brandon do down the left hand side, because although we've had Hannon playing left wing back, I'd like to see him at right wing back and see him whipping balls into his right foot and Honstrop on the left. We got here. Good to have some Football League experience in our midfield. It certainly is. There's a plethora in there in a minute. Also, when's the Heed Army podcast Budgie Smugglers coming out?
Well, are you wanting some for Tenerife, like Luke?
That's where if you subscribe to Mickey's OnlyFans, you will see the edible ones in action. So there you go.
Just to clarify, just to clarify, that's only pans for Mickey, by the way. Not only
pans. So we've got there. I lived in Sweden for a year, and it's not as cold as a stadium when the wind's blowing through it off the North Sea.
I agree with you there, Neil.
Neil didn't stick up for Charlie Colgate, man.
We got Davey, the winning goal on Saturday scored by Richardson. Beck put the icing on it, so you didn't need to dye your hair.
I've got to say, by the way, the last 10 minutes of the Halifax game when Beck was on the pitch, me and you, Davey, were a bit on the worried side at that stage. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, I must admit, I did have a squeaky bum time then, and who was to know that life wanted me to have this blue hair? Sophia, people want us to keep it. Should I keep it or shave it off?
Yeah, you should keep it. You should get some actual blue hair dye.
Get some blue hair dye.
Yeah.
That would.
I was actually trying. Trying.
Yeah, she was when it happened, because like obviously when I come out the bathroom and I had shouted, "Oh no!" and she's like, "What's the matter? What's the matter? What's the matter?" And then
I was outside playing with a balloon. He was in the bathroom, and I was just keeping it from going down the stairs, and all I heard was, "Oh no, I'm purple."
That was me thinking I was going to be sitting here with fresh. You know, I would have had like I'm down with the kids. I know the terminology. Me Riz would have been fantastic.
No, stop talking like that, please.
I call it Purple Ronnie from now on. It's Ronnie Gaddis.
Purple Ronnie. All right, Phyllis.
I think Phyllis is the best. Like, well done, Scully.
Yeah, get your name changed on your thing. Hey, what a hairdo! What a hairdo! What a show!
Kind of suit it once it's set in a bit.
And not in the daylight though, and it just goes off like a Felicia beacon.
That's when you actually suit it.
Yeah, all right,
When it's
okay.
clean.
That's enough. That's enough.
Brilliant.
Class that he's getting stick of his own daughter. I think that's brilliant.
I thought it changed shape when Honstrop came on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I think when what the buck.
Yeah, Mickey, what did you think about Tuesday night, Mickey? Obviously, you were there.
I thought a draw was a fair result. I think I haven't really seen their goal.
You're going to see it now.
I must.
It was an absolute shocking bit of defending by them.
No, you know what it is? I'll give credit where credit's due. I thought the nod on from the Hartlepool Halifax defender to send it through. It's really good. It's a well worked goal. I
mean, if you want to see some shot and defending, just watch our goal. It's pretty comical, like.
And
I thought last 15 minutes, I thought we were pushing to win it, and they give Sam Johnson got man of the match. That tells you everything you need to know.
No,
but
too.
Sean, I'm not your friend anymore. So, but no.
But to be honest, I thought we could have won it near the end. They equalised, gone off the boil completely.
Callum could have just
his clearance. What a clearance
at the end.
When the lad went through and pulled it back.
I felt they were settling from a point from a long way out, to be honest.
They would have been happy for a point,
that's
a poor header. No one taking responsibility. That's a poor header. Oh, what a mess.
That will end as well. I loved his 22 as well.
I did that, didn't he? Aye.
You know where it is, right? The best message of the night. Can we have Purple Rain played on Saturday?
Yes, yes. That's got to be. I think it was many Heat Army down there?
128 Heat fans doing there.
How many?
128.
I told you on a Tuesday night.
It was canny. It was got behind the lads like Gateshead always did. Right. Gateshead fans always do, and I thought
this is the goal. This is a good knock on. Oh no. Yeah, it comes back in now, doesn't it? It's a good header. It is a good header. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the defense would like to have cleared it, but it was well flicked on that. It beat the offside trap the way it went through. But obviously the game, went on. We had our chances. Mark Beck come on. It changes the dynamic when he comes on. It's great to have an option on the bench. It certainly is. He does bring that.
It does, but just about Beck, by the way, it was interesting. The manager said, we still don't change our style. We don't, just because Beck's on the pitch, you don't start hoofing it forward because, he's a big target man. We're still going to play football. We're still going to do it the right way. So yeah.
Well, there was one incident after he come on where he's caught the ball down and flicked it through, and he's done it on who did we play against Ebbsfleet as well, and You know, you got the what's the old cliche? He's got a
You
big,
messed this up, by the
touch
way.
for
This
a big
bit
man.
here. Sorry, you messed this chance up, really.
Oh yeah, you should have.
That
Yeah,
was shocking. That was, but it's brilliant tracking back because I seen Booty just absolutely peg it through midfield.
Hey, Booty started the season well, hasn't
he has.
Oh,
He has.
he?
Him and Kent have been my players of the season so far.
Hey, this season, Booty.
We've got,
Oh, this chance here. This is wheeling, isn't it? Oh.
Yeah. If only I'd got a bit of foot or two off of the ground, I think that would have went in. I've got ELO, Mr. Blue Sky.
Blue Sky.
What?
We could have a playlist. Yeah.
We've got Johnny Great. Good to hear the chant. Joe and Greg on 18 and 22 minutes. It wasn't picked up on the telly, I must admit.
Well, we did see it.
Yeah. We've got Beck, good with the ball at his feet, no need to lump it. Yes, he is. He's got a great first touch.
Yeah.
No loans from EFL clubs so far, a change of policy. I think it is, because obviously we've seen what happened last year. We had players taken away from us. And, we were very fortunate last year that we were able to, go out there and bring new talent in, and it fit like a glove. And obviously what went on to happen. So yeah, it's Gateshead have their own players now, and it's their own, everything's for own decision, their own making, for better or for worse, because you can say bringing in your own players, but if you could always send a lone player back, couldn't you? But that's not to say any of the players we brought in are bad. So
I mean, I was talking, me, Hebby, Nathan, and all them were talking the other day. Has Rob made a bad signing?
No. There you go. Proofs in the pudding. Although I did.
Louis and Sweens are brought in, have done the job.
I'm saying I turned him down. That would have been a bad signing. Said no, Rob.
The fitness test, and I only went to see him.
Yeah.
Didn't do any running. I just fielded on this.
Obviously, we have our friends at the Gateshead Foundation. We always love to promote what they're doing, and what they're doing now is absolutely fantastic. I've seen this just before we came on air, and I had to get the poster up and bring it up. It's a back to school event, and it's on the Tuesday, the 27th of August. It's from 10 till 12 for referral only. So if you're in with the foundation, they may have referred you, then it's open to the public from 12 till 2. They've got brand new school items for free of charge for children from 3 to 16, school uniforms, shorts, polo shirts, trousers, skirts. I can't see for it's that small, the writing, but there's coats as well. There's shoes for boys and girls, stationery and hygiene products as well, and that's at Bencham Grove Community. And as I say, we love the foundation. Everyone in there, this is what this football club's all about. It's more than the football. It's about people. It's and this is the really getting into the community. Times are hard. Things are expensive, and if you've got a child that's going to school, you've got two, it's even more expensive. And when they get to secondary school, my word, some of the uniforms that they've got to get is. And then you talk, I don't know about your children, but mine have about 3 growth spurts a year. So always changing. So if you know anybody that could benefit from this, please do point them in the direction of the Gateshead FC Foundation here. Yeah. And that is at Bencham Grove. That's next Tuesday on the 27th. That's a day after bank holiday. So get yourselves down there. And as I say, we always love to push the foundation things there. And we've got someone's put, was Oseni a deal? We've got it's we've got he was on a 2-year deal. It wasn't a loan. We've got more coming in. Anyone going to Oldham on Bank Holiday Monday? There'll be a fair few. Got my train tickets booked already. So guys, yeah. And then we've got here. Have you had any updates on replica shirts? You may have noticed if you go on the Gateshead FC, the Lead Army Podcast Gateshead FC page on Facebook, Bernard McWilliams, Vice Chairman, did post that they are hoping to have an update on the shirts very, very soon, but they are not prepared to put out a statement saying we're hoping to have the shirts next Tuesday, and then everyone's going, well, why aren't they here? This isn't the club's fault. This is the manufacturing and processing, in the distribution. The club, like a few other football clubs are in and around our league, are struggling to get their shirts through the same difficulties. So that's all we know. For full disclosure, we haven't heard anything from Patrick ourselves. We did get a message a while ago that they were happy to continue the partnership with the podcast going forward. And then since then, we know that the person that we deal with has since left the company. So we have no formal contact with Patrick at this moment in time. So when we find out, we'll let you know, because obviously we were told we could get prizes off them and things like that moving forward. And if that isn't the case, we'll look for someone that we will have contact with, another partner, and see what we can do. It's not about money for us, it's about giving things back to the fans and things like that. You know, as you can see, Steely's got a lovely t-shirt on there, which is nice, but we don't do it for t-shirts, we do it to give to the fans. And so hopefully the club is feeling that. Dave is obviously feeling blue.
I'm blue.
It's all right. It could have been me, so I'm quite pleased.
Yeah. Right. On that note, it's there is the prediction league, and at the moment, Hedonistic is at the top on 5 points. I think there was a few people on. There was Mr. Luke, Patrick Story, St. Geordie, Patrick Story, Dave Edward. Oh no, sorry, no, those were just them top 4 got it right there. So, and then that's got them up into the top. So I'm in 10th. Where are you, Mickey, on that one? Oh, Mickey's in 10th, joined 10th as well. And Steely, where are you? 10th as well. Well, get the predictions for the next 2 games, okay? So people are going to say that. So when you put your prediction in, I'm not going to take anything what people's put so far. Put both games, put the Yeovil game and the Oldham game. And I'm going to use my first joker. Remember, you have got 3 jokers. So I'm going to use my first joker on the Yeovil game, and I'm going to go 3-1 win to Gateshead and a 2-2 draw away to Oldham. That's mine there. So
very nice. Well, I'm very similar. I've already thought mine, Davey. I was 2-1. I think we'll beat Yeovil 2-1. And I think it'll be 1-1 at Boundary Park here at Oldham. So 2-1 and 1-1.
You know what it is? I haven't even given it a single thought.
Yeah, mine's been elsewhere.
Totally caught me on the hop. I'm gonna go. I'll go 2-0 against Yeovil. To us, obviously, and I'm gonna go for a 2-1 win at.
Whoa. Be happy with that, like.
All these bloody names are coming in here. Look at this.
Blue Moon.
I guess they call it the Blues. Right, going through some of these here. We've got. So, are you using your jokers, lads, at all, or not? Are you using my first joker on the Yeovil game? We've got this one here. Ryan Brown has won 3-2 Gateshead against Yeovil and 2-0 win away to Oldham. Embrace Divisions went 2-1 against Yeovil. 3-1 both games. Ken Webster. We've got 1-1 against Oldham, says Gavin Rudd. 2-1 for Embrace Division against Oldham. So I'll bring these up all on screen so it makes it easier for Johnny Gray to get them as well. He'll probably go through the chat. That's where he gets them. I don't think he'll have the league for us this week because he's going away. So there'll be an updated league in 2 weeks, I think it is. If I read his message right, but there's some there. Craig's going 3-1 Yeovil, Oldham 1-1. Who's copied mine? We've got 3-1 Yeovil and Oldham 2-0. They're all coming in here, so I'm getting them up on the screen. But yeah, and a big thank you to Johnny Gray for doing that. Of course, it's a lot of work and effort that he does.
What was that last message, Davey? I saw that last message. Someone's played a joker there.
Oh, someone's played a joke. Oh, and look, they're going for Sean Parry's using his first joker on a 2-0 win against Oldham, of course. And we've got a 2-0 win, says Colin, against Yeovil. And Trina is going 4-0 Saturday and 2-1 on Monday. So there we go. And Trina's normally not far off on her predictions. So if you fancy...
something that happens here, lads.
Mm-hmm.
Darcy and her sister taking the sign.
Yeah, well, I had that up before.
Joe and Greg.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. Well done, lasses.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
And the club put it up on social media as well. It's a beautiful shot, that. And well done,
well,
girl.
Bob spoke to them after the game, They took the sign away, and obviously to put up, and they're going to get it signed for them and give them it back.
That's lovely.
Oh, that's good.
Mate,
Yeah.
well done to Rob at the club, and absolutely amazing. Well done, lasses.
We've lost Steely. We've lost Steely.
He's away at sea.
Yes, I think the sea has took his island away. Hopefully he comes back. I'll go down. There's more messages here. Got to get to them all. Johnny Gray has put, I have a table for you next week, but it's only includes Saturday's games where on Bank Holiday Monday, so away for 10 days. So that's all right. So you'll get with a partially updated table, but it doesn't have to. You can just wait until later on and get it all there. And we've got
Enjoy your holidays, Johnny.
Yeovil will win 1-0 Heed to win 2-1 at Oval. So I think he's going with the route of having someone there. Where did you go, Davey?
I don't know. The Starling just went down. Starling.
Elon Musk. Look at you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you've got a spare couple of billion that you'd like to put into Gateshead, well, I mean, we'd always be very interested. Oh God, we've got all of this. We've got Walden's, and also get well soon to Darren Walden. He's had an operation. He's got a contraption on his hand where he looks like the early beginnings of Iron Man. It's got all the mechanics on it.
I thought he was doing his Terminator impression.
Well, he's doing something. Darren 2-1 and Darren won 2-1 win against Yeovil and 2-1 against both of them at the weekend. Livers went 3-1 for both. Poppy 5-1 for both.
Yes, please.
3-2 against Yeovil and 2-1 win against Oldham. And let you know Joshua's when I get them on the phone. And there we go. All the best to the players, especially Rob. We're class with Darcy and Emmy after the game on Tuesday. A cuddle from him made her night. Well, I haven't had a cuddle from Rob yet, so we'll see what I can do. I mean, I'll say I'm very, down in the dumps of what's happened to me hair, Rob.
He'll run if you got a cuddle.
He's very emotional as Davey at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I could. My wife's just sent us a photo of something. Yeah, funny one, Mrs. Gaddis. She's put blue steel.
Magic.
Love it.
Hang on a second. Hang on. I'll give you some blue steel. There you go. You think you're funny? Everyone said I should.
We thought you were.
Everyone said I should keep the hair for, and no. Steely, am I allowed to keep my hair?
Yes.
Steely said yes. Mickey,
go strip it and dye it then.
I think you should shave it up. We'll get a blue skull cap.
A blue skull cap. Just put the reverse monk in.
Reverse monk.
Yeah. It's just that if I keep my hair, I've got to strip it. So I've got to change.
You're sleeping on the couch tonight.
If you keep your hair, you've got to strip.
Oh yeah, you could join the Blues Brothers. I've had people saying we're going to play Purple Rain on Saturday at the match, and it's not funny. It's not.
Did you tell her? Did you hear about Phyllis?
Phyllis.
Did you hear about Phyllis from Coronation Street? You did say that first, to be honest. I'll give you well.
Has your mother seen it yet, Davey?
Oh yes. What was quite funny about that is I obviously went to visit her today, and I said, "Oh, I'm going home to dye my hair." And she goes, "Oh, don't do that, man. You look a right mess." I goes, "Ma'am, I've done it before. I know what I'm doing." And my 9-year-old was like, "Are you looking forward to telling Grandma?" I was like, "No." And she goes, "She did tell you, didn't she?" I was like, "Yeah." 43 and worried about what my mum's going to say, and then obviously picked the lane up, and the lane was just still hovering in the background. So
even my mother was giving you tips to how to get that thingy down.
So yeah, and we'll play. What's that? Paint your ass blue, and we'll play Blue Moon on Saturday. And hang on, we've got a lovely message here. We've got from John and Anne. Myself and Anne very much appreciate everyone's support for Greg. Prediction for Saturday is Gateshead 2-0 against Yeovil, 1-0 Oldham. So we send all our love to both of you.
Yeah, we send all our love to you, John and Anne.
John. Yeah.
To Greg, obviously.
Definitely.
The whole family, it must have been a horrible weekend for them.
Without a doubt. And just before we go, obviously, there is a GoFundMe. The link is in the video description. So if you're watching this, don't worry, it'll still be there. It'll always be there. And look at that, it's only been up a few hours and it's reached £405 already before it's even got out into the ether. So if you can donate into it, but if you can't, send messages. As I say, we want Greg to know how loved he is. He's just an amazing guy, regardless of what he's done for the club, as a person, as a human, as everyone talks about at the club. It's all about human beings, and that's what we are. We're a family here, and we hope that the podcast itself is an extension of that, and of the same ethos where we're all spreading love and joy. Of course, it'll be hard for Greg, but look, we'll have him back, and we'll have our captain back when he's fit and ready, and that's the most important thing.
Well, at least you'll have a decent co-commentator with you and Mark.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what colour my hair will be by the time he gets back, but I'm guessing it won't be dyed. I think we wait for him. Just what a divvy. That's all I can say. I've just got to put my hands up and call myself a divvy. We've got good night, chaps. Let's hope we play blue. Let's hope we don't have a blue Monday against Oldham. Yes, it's all at my expense. We got there, and Joshua's predictions is 2-1 and 2-2 against Oldham, and we got there. We go. Well said, Davey. Have a good evening, lads. Well, I'm going to go. I've got to go off because my mum's having new medication tonight, so I've got to sit with her in case she has an adverse reaction. So that's what I'm going to do, and get well soon, Mum. She's had another rough time, but
get well soon.
Yeah. And how's your mum doing? Is she on the mend?
Yeah, she's good. Yeah, she's on the mend now, which is pleasing. So yep.
Yeah,
mine's on the mend, but she was just due on Tuesday night.
Yeah, and she was laughing. She was laughing there. So there. On that note, everybody, I'm off to go and cry into the darkness and with my blue hair. Right.
Blue wind.
Blue wind. Gate. Reet. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Good.